White House is weighing next steps after President Trump rejected Iran's latest response to a U.S. peace proposal, calling it unacceptable. Iran says it's ready to continue diplomacy, but also ready to fight if needed. President Trump rejected Iran's response Sunday, calling it totally unacceptable and saying Iran's proposal was, quote, bad and stupid. He says Iran made some nuclear concessions, but not enough. Iran's foreign ministry called its proposal reasonable, while also demanding control over the Strait of Hormuz. U.S. officials say the military is ready if talks fail.
It's very interesting because, they make a deal and then they break it, then they make a deal, they break it. It's a difficult group.
Iran's military says its forces are protecting nuclear sites and are ready to fight if aggression resumes. 18 Americans from the hantavirus-stricken cruise ship are now back on U.S. soil, and one is in a biocontainment unit in Nebraska. 2 of the 18 were transferred to Atlanta. The World Health Organization says there are now 7 confirmed cases of hantavirus associated with the Dutch ship. As CBS's Jared Hill reports, doctors are emphasizing this is not another pandemic.
No one who poses a risk to public health is walking out the front door of the streets of Omaha or beyond.
Government and health officials in Nebraska say 16 of the 18 repatriated American cruise ship passengers are now in the care of the University of Nebraska Medical Center, which has the only national quarantine unit.
We have 15 patients in quarantine, and we've got 1 patient in the biocontainment unit.
A specially equipped 747 carrying U.S. citizens back from the MV Hondius landed in Omaha early Monday. U.S. health officials say one has tested positive for hantavirus, another has mild symptoms. Passenger Jake Ross Marin posted an image on his social media from his hospital room, thanking everyone for their support.
I've decided to take this time to thank every single guest and crew member on board here.
The ship's captain expressed his gratitude.
We've sailed through this together across the sea. Now, we hope to see everybody safely at home.
The World Health Organization said Monday that there are now 7 confirmed cases of the Andes hantavirus from the ship and 2 suspected cases. Other countries are also bringing their citizens back. France's health minister says a French passenger tested positive after being evacuated.
This is not going to be a pandemic.
Okay. CBS News chief medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook says the science is reassuring.
This, yes, can be spread from person to person, but over short distances, it's basically adapted to infect rat to rat, not human to human.
Doctors say patients have the option to remain at the Nebraska facility for the 42-day monitoring period, and the medical team will also work to determine if an individual's isolation can be completed at home. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Bradley Quellen, a former Rogers Middle School teacher, is set for a court hearing this week on state and federal child exploitation charges. Court documents say he used fake online identities to contact minors, request explicit images, and message girls as young as 12. Investigators say victims in Arkansas and out of the state were involved, with accounts linked to Quellen traced through email and device searches. He's pleaded not guilty. That hearing is set for Wednesday. Over the weekend, a report from the Oklahoma Highway Patrol says 2 men from Poto were killed in a crash in LeFlore County. On Saturday, the driver, 21-year-old Jace Goff, was headed east along 360th Street and Morgan Hill Road, where he missed a stop sign and struck a vehicle. He and a passenger, 22-year-old Florentio Ramirez, both died. The driver of the struck vehicle was also hurt. We have an update on the chemical spill in Fort Smith we first told you about last week. Officials now say new tools are being rolled out to keep the public informed on cleanup efforts in real time. CNS Chemicals has launched a website, fortsmithcleanup.org, where people can get daily updates on remediation efforts in both Arkansas and Oklahoma. Officials say new information is typically posted each day around 1 to 2 p.m. Fort Smith Public Relations Manager Josh Bufink says the city is also monitoring potential vehicle exposure and working to guide anyone who may have come in contact with the spill.
There's also a hotline number on there as well for people to call. Maybe they drove their car through the spill and it's affecting their vehicle in some way. They can reach out directly to them and hopefully get help for their vehicle as well.
Okay. The spill has prompted ongoing monitoring of waterways, including creeks that flow into Oklahoma's Poto River. Officials say they're closely monitoring pH levels to determine when areas are safe for public access again. Well, happening today, RDOT is closing lanes on the Interstate 540 bridge over the Arkansas River south of Van Buren for routine bridge inspection. The southbound lanes will be closed today and Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the northbound lanes will be closed on Wednesday and Thursday from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Signs, cones, and message boards will also be around to notify drivers. You can find more information out at RDOT's website. Well, a major effort is now underway in Fort Smith by Next Step Homeless Services to help the unhoused. The project is called the Next Step Neighborhood, planned for South 6th and I Streets in downtown Fort Smith. The $4 million development will include 30 tiny homes and a supportive services building, offering housing, counseling, and daily resources for people in need. Construction is expected to begin next month after fundraising goals are met.
It's going to make such a difference for 30 people at a time in these units, and it'll give them a place where they can just take a breath, feel safe, not be watching their back all the time, and learn some new skills.
With enough money being raised to start the project, officials say the effort is now to raise operational funds to keep the neighborhood open. She says the project will take about 18 months to complete, and once it's open, the emergency day shelter will be closed. Well, after it was heavily damaged in the Memorial Day weekend tornadoes 2 years ago, the Rogers Library is now officially back open. A ribbon cutting over the weekend marked the full return of the library. It stayed open after the tornadoes in a very limited capacity until now.
But having the library physically closed, I think it resonated throughout the community, maybe a little broader, a little deeper than some of the other facilities that were down. Because, there's really not a group of or section of the population that rely on the library. Everybody relies on the library.
The library director says the new building has new drainage, help with rain and flooding, along with new ceilings and a new roof.